final spots from the European region.
I think it's time to take a look.
Here we go. Ladies and gentlemen, first off, congratulations to Andretta, who throughout the entire day was in that top spot. Crew, Skype, Light, Mongrel has made it on in. Was what everyone was wondering if he was going to do it.
Yep.
People had high expectations. He clutches in the end. Emku, Teak, and who did we just see in that last game?
There you go, man. Blacksu, he makes it in for Lestream. That's huge for the French-speaking community because we saw Solary already go through, and Lestream kept getting edged out every week, but now it's Blacksu's time to shine. Really quick, though, Andretta. So you talked about this guy's been on fire all day long.
Yeah.
We actually kind of pulled stats on his previous week qualifiers. For the previous solo weeks, 291th place, 127, 218, 610, and now first. All day long. Went from like 50 viewers on Twitch to like 20,000. Send Andretta some love. All his hard work has truly paid off. These are the 8 that are coming through, Courage.
Congratulations to them. I think there's one more thing we can do. It's time to punch their ticket. Zeke.
I'll start over here.
Start over there.
Boop. There you go.
Andretta made it. Crew made it. Let's hit the middle one. Skite made it.
There you go.
Light. Mongrel, congratulations again, brother. In the middle, Emku, and finally, Teak, and wait.
There you go.
Blacksu as well.
There you go.
The 8 players from Europe who will join Moffin and Rona season, as we saw earlier, making it on in. Incredible stuff. Europe was an insane day today, just as we expected. High-level lobbies, tons of people left all the way to that 5th zone. But here's the beauty of it, folks. We've got more action to bring you. We're going to go to a quick 5-minute break. When we come back, we'll catch you up to speed on some of the other regions before we kick off the NA East action.
Zeke, this is it. This is the last chance, all right? People need to know about this block party, all right? This is your last opportunity to get them involved, to get them hyped. Zeke, everyone's going to be there, all right? DJ Zeke's going to be there. DJ Sundown's going to be there. Everyone's going to be there, all right? The people are waiting. All right. You know what, man? I'm DJ Zeke. I don't need no card. But what you need to do is buy your tickets to the block party. Tickets are only $35, Fortnite fam. Listen, all right? June 15th, 16th at the LA Forum. Day 1, Creative Showdown. Listen, all right? Team Evolve built an incredible map. Spoiler alert, it's dope. Day 2, Celebrity Pro-Am. 50 pro gamers, 50 celebrities, all battling out for a $3 million charity prize pool. What more do you want? What more do you need? Fortnite fam, you need to be there because we are ready to party with you. Bam!
Heyo Fortnite fam, Sundown here, and today we're going to talk a little bit about the Flintlock pistol and its impact on competitive play.
The Flintlock pistol is a great addition. Sometimes it'll just change the course of a fight.
The things you can do is insane. You can get height with it. It shoots pretty far. You can almost use it as an AR at the beginning game just to get one shot. It'll hit for like 80, 90 in the body.
And this is looking really good for Horrify, but the Flintlock is going to get the high ground. Nikiva, such a smart player.
The Flintlock is a common and uncommon weapon that uses heavy ammunition. It does 86 or 90 damage depending on rarity, and it has a 2 times headshot multiplier. This means that outside of a sniper rifle, it has the highest single shot damage potential in the game. However, the Flintlock only allows for 1 shot at a time, has pretty decent damage fall off, and also takes 3 seconds to reload. In addition to all of this, the Flintlock also has a mobility component to it. When fired, it will impulse the shooter backwards, and if the bullet strikes a target, it will impulse the target away from the shooter. This can allow for some tricky plays to be made.
Player there, runs out into the storm, jump, turn, finds it, yeah!
We've seen a decent amount of use out of the Flintlock during the Fortnite World Cup online open qualifiers. So let's hear from some of the qualified players to get their opinion on its addition to the game.
If I'm low on HP and I have to choose one weapon, it will be this one. You can actually like kill someone from 200 HP to 0 without taking any shots.
And it's also really good for competitive play because if you're high ground or if you want to get away from a situation, the Flintlock, when you use it, it knocks you some distance so you can get away or you can get high ground over someone. I think it just adds a lot of like different plays you can make with it. I think it's good.
I personally really like the Flintlock. I think it's a really good weapon. I think it's a really strong weapon in the right hands. You need to know how to use it, and you need to base your whole game around it if you want to use it right.
It's just the kind of weapon we need more.
I definitely think it's one of the better things that have been added skill-wise. I like that it's so versatile. I really like it competitive. Definitely deserves a spot here.
Thanks for watching, and hopefully you saw how the Flintlock can be utilized in the right hands. What is the best Flintlock play you've done or seen? Share it with us using the hashtag Fortnite World Cup, and we'll be seeing you guys on the battle bus, or maybe Flintlocking through the air.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Fortnite World Cup. This is the final week for solo qualifiers, so if you're trying to make your way to New York City to punch that ticket, now's the time to do it. If you miss out, that'll be that. Coming up next, we have Asia and Oceania replays. Those regions have already played out, but before we get to that, I asked a question when I was with Sundown casting the end of Europe, and that was where your favorite drop spot was. And we are lucky enough, because of the magic of Twitter and the production team who is always top-notch, a little social. I want to see what everybody said about everything. I just want to put this out there immediately. My boy Till Truth agreeing that Viking Village up top, one of the best in the game. Disco, Frosty Dusty, Jung Junction when running solos. Unless it's a hotspot, dropping factories by Flush. Racetrack, Lazy Lagoon or the Block. The Block, honestly, we're seeing that more and more. A lot of players are picking that up. Mega Mall. Surprising to me, one of the biggest landing zones on the map right now. We've seen it time and time again being constantly swamped with players. Paradise Palms, Salty Springs again, Pressure Plant, and I believe that is the very southeast corner of the map. Some players call it Westworld. There's all sorts of names for these locations where they don't have a POI name on them. It's kind of interesting to see how creative people can get. So I appreciate that. Thank you very much. I'm always curious where people are dropping. As hard as I can to avoid any of those spots. Thanks for telling me where to not go. But I do want to see where Asia and Oceania go. And in order to do that, in order to look at those replays and get a play-by-play of everything happening, I need some players to give me some insight. And those players, in this case, will be Monster D-Face and Zeke.
Thank you,
Woo!
Dr. Lupo. Back
Monster.
at it again, Zeke.
Are you ready?
Ready to rock it.
I believe you are ready. That's why you gave me the fist bump and not Courage JD. Fortnite fam, we hope you guys are ready because it is finals day. We're hopping into some replays from Oceania that happened this morning. We want to get these guys up to speed, have them, share their moment because them qualifying was a big deal. Yeah, absolutely. So let's get ready to hop into these games together. Is there anything you're excited about? You looking forward to, Monster?
I mean, I'm looking forward to just watching all these games unfold. I follow like every competitive player on social media, so to wake up to my peers, kind of happy that they pushed through, or unfortunately, sometimes, you get the other. See how much Fortnite is developed and evolved and how much more room for perfection there is in this game.
For sure, man. I mean, we can always be getting better, not only in Fortnite, but as humans. And of course, at our ability to eat chicken parmesan, because I will never be able to eat it as incredibly as Courage JD can. 44 players.
just tell a good like low ground warrior will poise up in such a way that one of the underrated things about the minigun is the extreme high fire rate. It might actually have the highest fire rate in the game when it's fully cooked, and because of that, it can really punch through builds even if you're trying to stay on defense. So if you guys haven't given up the minigun a swirl, I should say, try and pressure someone down when they're in the box with it, and let me know if you pierce through the turbo build, if you get some shots. But don't forget, guys, we're tuning in straight with the OCE games here, which already kind of developed over the evening here at the Fortnite World Cup. Players have already punched their ticket to New York City. This is the last solo opportunity. Next week will be duos, but today it's all about the solo action. You can find yourself in the Big Apple.
Big Apple for a slice of pizza, like Golden Boy likes to say. I don't know why I like to keep perpetuating that, but here we are.
For a slice at 30M.
Yeah, there you go. You know, something really cool about Rona's loadout, look at this. He's actually maxed. We were able to see his mat count there for a little bit. He's completely maxed on everything. He actually has extra metal laying close by. Max rockets with the 12. Completely great AR. Look at this, 650 rounds of small ammunition, 130 slugs, 8 deploys, a single shadow bomb. Sure, you know, he probably wishes he had 6. But this is a loadout you want to make plays with. He's going to send shots over to the player, trying to get in. Lucas is going to get caught out, making a rotation, and that Elim puts him in the top 25.
He is there, knocking on the door here, and this is how his journey unfolded to make it through to the Fortnite World Cup. Every opportunity that he has to take someone out, you can see he's singling out players and taking advantage of the positioning, but hopping around the map. These are some other players' journey as well, as we have Ariel here looking for the heavy snipe, finds a weak opportunity in the build. Whoever that is up above him is going to manage to connect the structure, but you know what? Ariel pops a nice little cone up. He's trying to go for it. He's really trying to get a piece of this high ground here. And now he disengages the pursuit, but is still tunneling on by.
That's good though. You know, if you don't have all the information, it's best to not try and go for the play, especially in finals. If this is, you know, semifinals, go for it, right? Like at worst, you're just set back a game, you could re-queue and everything's okay, but in finals, every single interaction does matter. So for Ariel, you know, he could have potentially challenged for that high ground, but it's like, I just kind of use my heavy snipe. I don't have that key to all doors. Let me just get myself to safety, take a moment, reload, gather more information. And because of just that slight pause, look, he's now in top 15. He found an Elim, which he was hunting for before. He just finds it in another place. And now he's still just continuing. He picks up a Rift to go as well. Heavy snipe gonna be picked up too. So now, I mean, Ariel's in a great spot right now.
Yeah, for sure. That nice little mat replenish there from catching the Elim is going to throw him back in the running here to try and see if he can squeak out a victory. Up at the high ground, we have other things unfolding. Kalen goes down to Samurai. Sosman still alive in the mid-tart, putting down pressure. Squall's in a campfire here. That's a signal to the rest of the lobby that, hey, there's someone weak nearby. Sosman hears the shadow bombs kind of thrown all around him. What's he going to do here? He's just on the hunt. OCE region specifically requires you to get a ton of eliminations if you want to be number 1. There's only one spot up for grabs. And there it is, another player nearby. That's all shield ripped off. He's going to push that. Sees a player above him. He does see a player above him.
He's going to try and maybe make something happen. But look, don't forget, he still has every single rocket.
Nice rocket right there.
12 rockets. This payload is about to just destroy builds all the way around. And look, Aerial as well up on the high ground has him. So the first rocket from Aerial comes in, and then Sazman's second finds an elimination. Another rocket from Aerial up on the high ground. And look at this. Down below, they're just desperately trying to keep their builds up, and they're burning through mats. Sazman is now out, and look, he gets challenged from the front, challenged from the right, finds the 2 players, and he makes this a 1v1, but look at his HP right now. First rocket's gonna come in. How is he gonna pull this off, Monster?
I don't know if he can. He doesn't really have much going for him. Just 24 health.
He picked up 500 metal from 0 to 500. 50 builds. This is huge. If those get fully built off, they're going to absorb an entire rocket and still stay built. But
no way, dude.
This is a tough spot. Oh. That's a tall ask. That's a tall ask.
Really was. 200 HP on Aerial with the RPG as well. He was fully loaded, med kit, minis. He had everything he needed. That was a tough end game for Sazman. But hey, second place is not too shabby in this format. You get you know, a ton of placements, but more importantly, those 2 eliminations to squeak out. We've seen the difference of 1 point was literally what all these games came down to. So that little flick of the moment, that little, you know, reaction to jump down there and go for it, that's the risk you take, and that's the payout you get.
Now we hop on over. There you go. This is, so don't forget, this is now, we're in Asia replays. You can see at the top right. So these happen again overnight while we were all asleep. I was asleep like a baby. That's not true. I woke up several times. I was mad about it. Moffin XD, though, was the victor coming out of that Asia region.
Yep, you can see there, Moffin finds someone hiding in the cone. Does capitalize on a nice little elimination. Sees the loot back there, but might be a little too far to go scavenge for, so he's just on the hunt still here. As things are poised up outside of the Dusty Divot. Really tough place to battle out of. Never want to find yourself in the center of it. Nice shot right there. As he catches someone who's running right by. These competitive players are so good with the accuracy. Oh, he's trying to play the loot hoarder here, trying to get all the mats and stuff that he did not battle for, and now he's got the Storm against his back, and there's no way that man was going to get out of there, because with the 60-second threshold now, the Storm can also just reward that Elim regardless to Moffin here. And whoa, he jumps into the zone for the desperate materials. Didn't even rift out. Ouch, it's going to cost him like 70 health there, Zeke.
That's a lot. Okay, so he did pick up 3 campfires. Sure, he can heal up, but that's such a tell, right? The moment you place a campfire, you're telling everyone around you, hey, I am low HP. I have to use this if I hope to survive. Now, keep in mind, he was at the edge of the storm. He had quite the rotation to make. Because he dipped into the storm, everyone else is already making their way into safety. He's going to have a relatively safe rotation, but, like, again, he's in critical condition. If he finds an Elim, it's going to be huge. That Siphon's going to just put him right back into fighting condition, but he's got to find that Elim.
Dude, talk about, like, insane rotation. First of all, he didn't get shot once coming from the further side of the Dusty Divot, and there was multiple players set up on bases. That is what we call that little bit of luck factor that sometimes you just need to kind of pull through here, because it doesn't happen like that very often. Someone gets rifted up there. Moffin lands a nice little 78. He's still in the game right now. Still in the game here.
He's going to reload that heavy snipe. So just look for an opportunity. I doubt he's going to try and go for close range snipes. He's probably going to use that to just punch into people's bunkers. He has his own rift to go. If things get a little hairy, I think he probably wants to use it, because if you, this is great. Just punch through, there you go, and use the other player's rift.
Community rift again.
Yeah, but look where we're going right now. We're going on the little lip there of Dusty Divot. That's such an incline that if you don't make it first, you can actually box other people out, and then they have to burn materials to get over the little hill there. So I like that play, just saying, you know what? This guy used the rift, and look at this. Prime real estate.
You just said it too, right? Like, you want to get on the lip there and see what you can do. Moffin comes in with some shots here. Looking for the replacement.
Wow.
Pulls off the cone, Zeke.
Wow.
Just like that.
And this is huge now, too, because not only does he get all the Elims, the campfire's still going, so people are going to be like, oh, that player must be weak. Would we like to engage him? And Moffin sitting on 200 is like, please. No, yeah, absolutely. Like, come on in.
That'll be a big mistake for someone there. Let's look at this map here. This is the Asian region, guys. We're tuned in with Asia. Hopping into some of what occurred overnight here. Char Mew looking to get his little moment here in the show. Nice shot right there. Oh, man, Char gets hit with the Shadow Bomb. Don't forget, guys, that animation, while you're in Shadow Bomb as well, you're vulnerable. You are very vulnerable. You have to be careful of your surroundings. You can take damage. You're not invincible in the Shadow Bomb form.
Man, Charmy is just burning through materials. That was a pretty rough rotation. It's probably going to cost him in the long run, because, I mean, he did go through quite a bit of mats, but... you know, Monster, I like to pose this question. I've already posed it to Pookie. I've posed it to Kitty. You know, you guys are members of the community. You know, you've taught so many of us different things. You know, you've got a podcast. In case you know who Monster D-Face is, go send him a follow. He's incredible. But you've been in situations like this, right? You've played in Summer Skirmish. You've played in, I think, Fall Skirmish as well, right?
Yep.
You know, we went to Korea together to watch the Korea Open. So you understand what these players are thinking. For maybe people that are kind of new to Fortnite, that maybe this might be their first time tuning in, you want to just break down some things for them?
Yeah,
like for instance, like rotations. Like what is Metsu thinking right now as he's barreling toward trying to keep himself safe, right?
Yeah, well, like obviously initial threats, right? You want to handle everyone here. Nice little trap play. So just even every single decision can be broken down. The way they use traps, a lot of these players, you want to double trap left and right wall, so you cut off all plans for escape.
Right.
Something small like that. Here, editing his way down, right? He does not have an escape plan. That Elim right there is going to give him the launch pad, of course, to get the escape route off the high ground, but just recognizing height differences, the way competitive players play zone, they typically like to hug the zone. They never give too much, they don't take too much real estate in the end moments. They take their time and kind of hug the zone instead, flirt with that storm line. So many little different things that come into competitive play, and you can really just nitpick and break it all apart. It's so crazy in the highest levels.
Yeah, I just love talking about that stuff. I'm not great at articulating my thoughts with that kind of stuff. I understand what's happening. I'm like, oh, I'm trying to tell you a thing.
It happens so quickly, especially in Fortnite. But that's one of my favorite parts about it is just like the action, the APM, the actions per minute in Fortnite is unparalleled to any other BR I've ever experienced. And that's what really draws me to this game specifically. So we are looking at Moffin, who pulled through, man, took it right underneath the feet of people like Aim Hero that Zeke and I had. We had the pleasure of casting it at South Korea. He crushed it.
Yeah.
We saw Sinnoh out
met
there.
him. We met him.
We met all, dude. It's like
so
it was surreal, dude.
Yeah,
right?
Dude. I remember that story so that would happen so vividly. We met him because we were like, you know, we're like in almost like a green room waiting to go. Yeah. And we saw players around us, and Aim Hero was like, he popped in the room, and we're like, oh, hey, like, hi.
Matter of fact, remember, there was like this divider standing over it, and they were like, Zeke, I love you.
And I was like, wait, what? And they were like, yeah, you're Zeke, and you're Monster D-Face. And we were like, wait, oh, first of all, congratulations, Moffin XD. You know, we know you're the victor, and that is exactly why 11 eliminations and the Victor Royale. 21-point game, massive lead for him. But yeah, I remember, and then they just called us out. They're like, yeah, you're Monster, and you're Zeke. And I was just like, what the heck?
That was definitely crazy to think outside the country.